It couldn't be helped. We had a busy weekend. We had family here helping with the yard work, and we had a wrestling show Sunday. So I had to wrap up this early Monday. Couldn't be helped, but we are. I said around 1:30 and 1:36, and I'm on Twitch and Rumble. The archive is going to be on Rumble, and I will share it over on my Patreon. The link later. Let me go ahead and get the camera set up. I mean the PlayStation logged in. I didn't get a chance to change to the Xbox, so we're over on PlayStation. So there'll be no Michael today. It'll just be Christine as usual. I was wanting to do some Michael, and I got no sound, so we're gonna have to work on the sound. But I'll go ahead and get the game rolling. Let's get back over to the studio mode. Oh, it wasn't in studio mode. Okay. I thought I was in studio mode there for a minute. This mouse is clicking really strange. Uh, Gotta get the audio working. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the noise I done it. So I turned it off last night. My brain didn't remember turning it back on. Anyways, let me go ahead and do this. Take the check out of the box. I am turned up here. Restore defaults. Apply. Put the listen check back in. Clicks. We got sound. You know, you don't have to put all that bullshit in anything Apple. Only Windows. You know, Bill Gates couldn't even get Windows right. And anything he wants us to listen to what we put in our bodies. He couldn't even get freaking computers right, y'all. He couldn't even get freaking computers right. I'll tell you, I got an old Apple, and you can plug the HMDI up and record on it. You never have the problems in the Apple. Now, this is an older Apple. I got to shave, man. I'm getting woolly. I have discovered something. If I'd have really knew the real Kurt Cobain and not just the one that was sold on the TV, I probably wouldn't have liked him. You know, there's entries in his journals that I would not agree with. Just saying. There's entries in his journal that I would not agree with. But I want to tell you, that kind of thinking's been around for a long time. He was a troubled youth. That kind of thinking's been around. I mean, it dates back to Reagan. You know, all that stuff that's going on up there right now, it's been around. It's in his journals. I was watching a movie on him this weekend. What's they call him? Montage of Heck? Boy, he's got some crazy writings in that thing. I'm not going to repeat, because they would arrest me for some of that stuff. They won't arrest lefties. They'll arrest righties. Like the Q people and stuff for being crazy. Some of the stuff he wrote in his journals, y'all, sounds like Antifa. That kind of thinking's been around for at least since the Reagan years. Because that's where he got all that stuff at. Those anti-Reagan people. If I didn't know all that stuff, I probably wouldn't have been into Kurt Cobain. I didn't know that stuff. Now, he is a part of my influences as musically. But when I seen what he really believed in, I don't support none of that. I'm going to go out and say it. I don't support that. I'm not a lefty, y'all. I'm not really a righty. I don't really fit the right. I'm really just me. To be honest, I'm just me. I don't remember if I changed their clothes or not. Yeah, I think I did. I'm not a lefty or a righty. I'm just me. But I don't believe in some of the things that he wrote in his journals. I didn't even watch full. I still got about 40 minutes left of it. I'll finish it out. I don't hate him or anything. I look at it that he was a troubled youth and he got around the wrong people. That's the way I look at it. He got influenced by the wrong people, by the wrong crowd. That's the way I look at it. He was a troubled youth. That's why I ain't here anymore, y'all. That guy was troubled. He was troubled. And that's why he's not here anymore. But now he was influenced by that politics around that area, and that politics has been the same. You know that year when Seattle was taken over, whatever, with whatever that city they did? That's all in his journals. That kind of thinking. Even pregnant boys. He wrote about pregnant boys. Where are you hearing that lately? In the media. You didn't hear that 30 years ago. All that stuff's been around. It's in his journals. Well, the engine's loud today. I must have it set on a loud set. Let's see, we earn her some money. How do I want to earn her money today? I didn't realize how loud that little car was. I heard it in that plug-in. Listen to that. Hey, speed kills us. Even got the screech. I don't hate Kurt, but now I want to say I probably would have not agreed with him if I knew the truth. Because politically, I don't. Now musically, I like their sound. I like that sound. I like that sound of that region. But politically, I don't agree with it. I only believe in using that kind of stuff if you have to. Like, say, what the forefathers did. You know, they had to do that. And they were tested over decades. They took decades of that stuff before they did what they did. That's what most people don't realize. Decades. Them judges taking their rights away. Floggings, beating the skin off their back, etc. That's where "Give Me Liberty" or "Give Me Death" is written on. Those forefathers took decades of that crap before 1776. And as I learned this past 1776, one of my forefathers signed that document. A stone. I was pleased to learn that, by the way. Because it's always been in my blood, y'all. I took after him. And when I read up his thoughts on war, exactly 100%. I took that 100%, y'all. His stance on war. I believe that you don't want to do it and you want peaceful means, but no, I wouldn't be shy to support it if it has to. The push comes to shove. You read up on him, that's exactly what he believed in. He even wrote King George a letter, him and several others, wrote King George a letter prior to starting. You remember the Lexington thing? The shot heard around the world. He was one of the people that wrote King George, asking him to reconsider, trying to get peace. He sought a peaceful means, and then it didn't happen. My forefather, which is my family's forefather, he's a great grandfather or whatever. Whatever he was up there. He's one of my relatives, y'all. At least according to one family member. Like I said, I don't do the full research, but I wouldn't put it past it because I'm so much like him on that war stuff. It wasn't my research, so I can't really 100% state it. But now, I would be happy to support it, and I'm going to tell you that I'd be more like him. There are different stones. People got to realize there are different stone lines. We're not the only stones there was. Roger Stone's had a line. His were kin to Russians and some other people, I think. Italian. His stones. From what I can remember what he said on the info is. So not every stone is a stone, you know what? In other words, we're not all the same stone. But now I believe her. Because I'm telling you, I'm so much like that dude. And his nose and stuff about look like my father. Even his hairline and stuff, his nose. His nose and his hairline. So I believe her. I believe her. Like I said with my research, I don't do none of that stuff. I'm kind of like my daddy there. He didn't ever care about it. I care, but I don't care enough to research it. You know. In other words, I haven't never sat down to really research it. He doesn't. He was worse than me. He didn't care about nothing. I at least like learning. He didn't care about none of that stuff. He didn't care about none of it, y'all. He just lived for today. To hear to live for today, he lived for today. Whatever his day was. That's what he lived for. Past didn't matter. Past didn't matter. I actually like learning about the past. But no, I don't waste my time doing it, you know. Like, I just live for today too in a lot of ways. In other words, I don't take time to research it and stuff. Is it right there? Yeah, there it is. It's already starting that crazy bullshit. Yeah, I was taking care of a few late things that I couldn't do Sunday. I would have probably done all that Sunday. I got a little bit of heat exhaustion, but I enjoyed that show. They put on a good show. I rarely see any. I mean, none of some are better than others. But now there was WWE events I about fell asleep at. So I'm going to tell y'all. There's this one time we went to SmackDown. Kofi Kingston and several other people, and that other guy, that big guy. And I remembered him. I don't remember the others. It was a big old match. And Kofi Kingston, that guy that carries around the Celtic sword, the big long black hair, him, that big dude, we're all in the match. I was in a wheelchair. The ramp on that wheelchair section was really low. It was like at my feet. There was this one time I thought I about fell over my wheelchair. I was so bored. I was so bored at that fucking SmackDown that I about fell over. I thought I was going to, you've heard those stories about the people falling off. I think I almost did. And I woke up in time to grab my handles. I was so bored in that fucking match. Kofi Kingston was in. The guy with the big Celtic sword, him, the big long hair. I love his hair, by the way. I'm not saying they were boring. I'm saying I was just bored by the time that match came. Of course, I'm going to tell you, I'm not really a fond of being in places for hours and hours and hours. Even concerts. I get annoyed sometimes sitting through the opening acts. They're not as long. You used to have little mini festivals. And I think it's starting to sort of take off again. I mean, I'm telling you, back before COVID, it was like mini festivals. You'd have about 6 acts you'd have to sit through. A lot of times I'd take restas between some of the openers, and I'd decide who I wanted to see the most and who I wanted to sleep through. And it wasn't personal. That guy in Trap, and I hate I done him this way because I love Trap now. He stands up for what he believes in. He even takes hits. He even called me out for it. He came and said, "Some of you people sleeping." I love him now, but back then I didn't know them that well. And I was probably there to see Buck Cherry or somebody, whoever else was opening that night, whoever was on the ticket. It was him and a few other people. I don't remember who that. So I just would pick and choose who I'd want to rest through. Because I'd had to. With my energy levels. It's not even the insult to I love live bands. And I love them even when I don't know them. Because you never know when them bands might take off. You never know when you might be seeing the little guy that takes off and he becomes the big guy. That happened to us and Toby Keith. We seen him for Billy Ray. 1993, our first country concert. Now, he might have been a second. I don't remember who was first. I think he might have been a second. Toby Keith was his opener. We missed about part of him. My sister even did the regrettable thing. He was sitting on the steps, and my sister that drove us, she told him to go over and get his autograph. She said, I don't want his autograph. Well, he launched off, and then every time she heard, "How do you like me now?" she felt like it was, even though he's talking to a relationship. She thought she was talking to him. I mean, she felt like he was talking to her. Because he got big. He got big. How do you like me now? You never know when the little act goes up and goes a big. I'll tell you another case of that. We never got to see them live. Pantera. Pantera started out with Skid Row. They ended up getting bigger than Skid Row. So I didn't do it to be disrespectful. They just had so many acts booked. So I would just choose the one that I wanted to, because there'd be some people I was dying to see, you know. I mean, that's just the way I was as a fan. I was looking forward to seeing those people. So I would choose some of the bands to rest through, and some to watch. I'd listen to them, you know. I'd be sitting there listening, even resting. I'd just be resting my eyes. Today it's not quite as bad. They don't have the big. They don't have the big, but I have a feeling to get back to that eventually. Where you'll have a bunch of bands all together. I'm telling you, there'll be about 6 to 8 bands in one show. You'd have a bunch of little openers, and then you get to the main two. Of course, I probably ain't never gonna get back to the days where I go to concerts all the time anyway. When they're higher priced. Like even Marilyn Manson, his was cheaper than some people, but they're still higher than they were in the day. Indeed, we pay for 3 what I used to pay for 4 in the old days. Even Guns N' Roses, they costed the same price. Of course, you were up higher and stuff for Guns N' Roses. Uh, Metallica was the highest I ever was. I'll tell you what happened. I really shouldn't bash Gene Simmons. You know, I got mad at him. But now I thought about it. Do y'all know one time we went to see Kiss? They gave us upgraded seats, and I'm pretty sure it was because of Skid Row. You know, they manage them. And we were kind of like, we would hang out at we were kind of like their house shows in Atlanta for years. I'm telling you, one time we got there, they pulled us over, and they gave us upgraded seats, and we could see Kiss fucking good. We actually got the upgrade, man. We always bought the cheap seat. We always bought the cheap seat. We got the upgrade. We got closer than we would have been. We never knew why. We never knew why. We didn't ask for anything. We just got it. Like I said, we used to hang out at the house shows at Skid Row. Back when Rachel Bolan used to live in Atlanta, they used to be this place they play. We go to all them shows. We only missed one. And my sister took the flu or something. That's the only one we missed. That one show. We had tickets though, we just missed it. We had the tickets to Bach one time and missed those two because I was sick. I believe my sister might have got sick too, but I know I was sick. We seen Bach at one of the shows. I have seen Bach. I don't hate Sebastian Bach. Don't know. I don't like his politics. But like I just said, I found out I don't like Kurt Cobain's politics either. I didn't really know what that consisted of. I mean, I knew he wasn't completely. I knew he wasn't no right winger. I knew it, but I didn't expect him to be as far left as he was. So that's the thing. We didn't know stuff back then. You didn't know that stuff. They didn't let you know it. But I do know why Germany had him banned, and it was more than just that album. They banned him over there. They banned him for more than just incesticide. They banned him for his political views. I know that's what they banned him on. They always tried to say it was incesticide. It wasn't incesticide. It was his political views. I didn't know what they were. So I watched Mountains of Heck, HBO. I just watched that. I ran into it this weekend. I was looking for something to watch. And I saw Mountains. I thought, well, I'll turn this on. I'm going to tell you, I do not support. Oh, a doggy. It's a doggy. Look at the doggy. I wish I could take him home. If I could take doggy home, I'd take him home. Hey, doggy. I don't hate Kurt or nothing. Like I said, oh, there he is. Like I said, he was a troubled youth and he got around. I just think he got inspired by the wrong people. See, I'm not pro-government. I'm not anti-government either. That's the difference. I'm not pro nor anti-government. You got to have some governance, or you got chaos. But now you don't want a big brother either. There's that doggy. I'm passing. Passing the doggy. You gotta have law and order, but you don't want to boot. You don't want to boot stepping on. That's what I believe in. And I'm going on the record to say that. Oh, a kitty. It's a kitty. Hey, kitty. It's a fluffy kitty. I like cats and dogs. I like cats and dogs better than I do like people. It's people that sucks. Cats and dogs. I used to not like dogs. But I changed my mind. I like cats and dogs. People suck. I'm not saying all of you suck. If you're a good person, you ain't bothering me and I'm not bothering you, I got nothing against you. Assholes can go fuck themselves. I mean, you can't get more trouble. He was so troubled, he was shifted around. I'd heard those stories. I heard them in detail from his actual dad, his mom, and his stepmom. Boy, no wonder he turned out the way he did. And no wonder he ain't here anymore. He was a troubled kid. He was very troubled, y'all. The big mistake. I'm going to go on record. I don't care. I'm on Twitch. The big mistake his mother made, and I'm not pointing fingers, she let them doctors put him on those medications. That's what happened to Kurt. And you know what I'm talking about. The Ritalins and all that stuff. And just like all these other kids that they destroyed little Kurt Cobain too. He was a genius. He was obsessed with music from a little boy. Did y'all notice I noticed in the videos, even some of those stances he'd use as a grown guy, He started practicing that stuff as a baby would get as a toddler with his guitar. That guy was a genius. Them drugs running. Them drugs. That's why Kurt Cobain's not here anymore. It's not his mama's fault. I'm not blaming mama. Did I pray for their family? Because they've had to live with this. I know what it's like in some ways because I had to deal with my mother's pain from losing her brother. So I know what their pain is like in a way. That's what he died in the flower gardens. I kind of based it off the conspiracy theories of Kurt Cobain and then him. That's what it's all based upon. But it was more about him than it was that's conspiracy theory. Indeed, I completely made up a guy. He doesn't exist. The guy who died in the flower garden, he doesn't exist. But I made it off those conspiracy theories, and y'all know my point on Courtney Love. I don't think she done it. I think it was bigger than her. Because I think whatever happened to Courtney's got her own issues too. She was messed up by that damn daddy of hers, and you can't blame him. You can't blame that sack of shit. Look at what that sack of shit was into. See, that's what was so destructive about their relationship. See, it was two messed up, a messed up guy and a messed up gal. And that's why they had the troubles that they did. I love Courtney, by the way. She's one of my favorite. She's one of my favorite singers. How many have I delivered? 3. Kurt Cobain was destined to be who he was, but there was also a destined for destruction as well. There was destined to be great and destined to be destroyed at the same time. He was both of those. If you look at it, he was destined to be great, but he was also destined to be destroyed too. I just wish he could have overcame it. And I'm going to tell y'all something. You may laugh at me. You may make fun of me and call me weak. But after that, I started praying for every rock star that I liked. Whether he be Nikki Sixx or Sebastian Bach or Axl Rose or any of the ones I thought were trouble. I was praying for those. Hard. I didn't want them to turn out like Kurt. Marilyn Manson. You name it. I did not want them to be like Kurt Cobain. I prayed for every dang one of them after him. Before then, I was still finding Christianity then, so before Kurt's death, so I'd have probably been praying hard for him back then if I'd been completely endoused in my Christianity. But I didn't realize how bad things was. I saw it was getting bad, but I didn't know how bad it was getting until the end. But you could call me weak, you could call me whatever, but that's what I did. Any rock star I liked, I put them on that pray list, and I kept praying for them. I was glad to hear Duff McKagan's tale, but he was almost as chaotic as Kurt. And he didn't die. So Dave Mustaine. I'm telling you, I put each and every one of those that I like on this prayer list. And I'd say, God, don't let them turn out like you. Don't let them die early. There's times I was worried about Nikki Sixx. Lots of times. Call me weak, call me whatever. Make fun of me. But I didn't want him turning out like him. But I didn't realize how troubled he really was. And I still didn't know a lot of the stuff about him till now. to watching that movie, hearing from his family. And I knew he was bad. I didn't know how bad. Seeing some of them journal entries really let me know. But now that politics has been in that area for a long time. It's been there for at least since the Reagan era. They used to all rant about Reagan. By the way, out of all the presidents, you can tell these people were politicized by somebody's doctrine. Probably the NGOs and all that. Because out of all the presidents, Reagan's my least hated. Some of my worst ones was Jimmy Carter. Because I had to grow up here with my father. And, he was at the tail end of, when I was been born, Reagan was already coming in by the time I got old enough to remember anything.
Let me guess. More and more doctors have said that we need breast milk into our 30s. I've heard that.
I did turn it in, didn't I? There's things that Reagan did that I don't approve of, just like there's things that Trump's doing right now that I don't approve of. You're never going to get it. I don't know what people think. You're never going to get a president that's 100% satisfied. You're just going to have to take whatever you can get from them, or not like whatever what you don't like from them. You're never going to get 100%. The only person you're ever going to get 100% from, if you believe in him, is Jesus. If you don't believe in him, well, then I can't tell you anything about that. I don't know if I'm a Christian, but I believe in him. I don't know if I count to be a Christian. I see so many Christians doing things that I just totally disagree with. I don't agree with that turning your cheek for every single monster. I don't agree with that. I mean, I'm all for repentance and I'm all for, but now I believe that you should. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like the old converted Jews on that. They kind of wanted to keep some of the rules, but wanted to believe in Jesus. I'm like them because I'm telling you. I just don't believe in this turning your cheek to the most monster of all monsters. I know Paul was one of them. But he's an exception and he repented. Especially a non-repentant monster. I can't put my stamp of approval. I can't put my stamp on approval of non-repentant monsters. And I think they should have to pay for their crimes here, even if they get saved in the afterlife. That's just my opinion. And that should be people that you avoid and I have nothing to do with. I believe in that as well. You have to. You can't just lollygag and put like the Band-Aid Marilyn Manson was talking. I'm going to find that Band-Aid quote. Somebody shared it the other day. I'm going to play it. The guide Band-Aid. I'm going to search on it right quick. I can't do it, y'all. And so if I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Christian. Now, yes, I've accepted Jesus as my Savior. Yes, I believe in him. But I don't know if I'm a Christian. I don't go along with everything the Christians preach. Let's see the guide Band-Aid. I'm going to search on it. The guide Band-Aid Marilyn Manson. Because I'm just going to paraphrase him and screw him up. Because I don't never remember things exactly how it's said. It may not be up here. We may not be able to find it. Have they took off all the clips of Marilyn Manson? You can't never tell. He is kind of, and that woman was caught lying I mean, why destroy somebody's... Why destroy somebody's life over somebody who's been proven to be a liar? I mean, if you got real true evidence, I don't believe none of them. I'm going to be honest. I even gave Puffy the benefit of the doubt. We knew him as Puffy. He later on changed his name to P. Diddy. In the old days, it's Puffy. I even sort of give him the benefit of the doubt. Because these bitches, it seems like they just decide to destroy people. But I can't find that clip. If I find it, I'm going to download it and play it for y'all. Because a lot of Marilyn Manson's clips I've noticed in interviews is gone here on YouTube. That's what I hate about YouTube. Such a censor site. And now Marilyn Manson's counted as one of those things that they count as you can't talk about it, even though he's successful. Did I lose my zone? Oh no, it's there. He's very successful. You know, he's getting in the charts. He got in the charts within the air tonight, where that guy does a weapon with the other dude, that Ronnie Rourke or whatever his name is. Falling in reverse. He sold out his tour mostly. I mean, he only had a few shows left by the time we was going to see him. A few seats left. He's very successful. He's had a successful comeback. Yet he's still one of those subjects that they don't want to touch. He's so right on about a lot of that stuff about Christianity. You want to know why people don't like you? It's the way you treat people. And I know sometimes I treat people bad too, but usually they've done something to me. I don't just treat people bad just to treat people bad. First of all, I was done bad, so I kind of think like I don't want to treat people like I've been treated. Yet I will treat people like I've been treated. See, it's never just one way. There's never one way with me. It always depends. It always depends, and that's just how it has to be. That's how I'm probably never going to change either. It always just depends with me. The measure you show towards me depends on the measure I show towards you. That doesn't mean I have to necessarily handle things with a. But now I just might simply just not have nothing to do with you. But now if I decide to respond, that's my decision. Some people tried to make the decision for me, and that doesn't work well either. When you start trying to make the decision for me, it just makes things worse. Just saying. I'm going to go ahead and end early here today. By a few minutes. So I'm kind of tired after what I've just worked, and then I need to finish working on it too. I'm not through. So I did get my day in today, at least 38 minutes. 38 used to be my normal streams. 38 to an hour is normal. Okay. So I'll see y'all real soon. Like I said, I'll share this over on my Patreon as well. Hope y'all have a good day. Hope y'all have a good week. It's been hot ones too. I did get a couple of videos from that wrestling show. I wanted the main event. Boy, I love that main event. Had these two guys up there. They were colorful guys. They had colorful outfits on. I actually enjoyed that match. Me sitting there half sick. I was trying to be half alive in it because those other matches, and I wasn't deliberately not being alive. I just didn't feel. I felt like if I used too much energy, I was going to be on the floor. They'd have to have an ambulance on. So I just sat and kind of leaned over some. My mouse ain't clicking. There we go. Yeah, it was warm in there. It was a warm, hot summer day. Uh, so yeah, I enjoyed it. I might have to check the settings on this mouse. It's gotten where it don't click right. Let's go ahead and take care of that real quick. Let me pull up the mouse set. Mouse, open. Or if I slow the speed down, will it? Okay. See what that does. See if there's anything else here that I need. Pointer and touch. Mess with that. So. I don't want the trails, that's for sure. I hate those trails. Pointer speed. See if that works. Yeah. Got it. That thing is it's jobbling around the screen too fast. But it is working. Now it's moving too fast. I guess I can't have it. I can't have my cake and eat it too. So, y'all know something? That stream, like y'all remember that stream that I did outside, like with the Wi-Fi. This one held up too. I tested it out today. Most of the time I do it on the cord. Today I decided to test it out on the Wi-Fi. It actually held up. I'll see y'all later.